All right. So I see people are checking back in. Appreciate you guys doing this. And so now I just got to wait for Marshall to come back in, and then we can get him on. So then we can have a little quick conversation and move this thing forward. So so if anybody there or Marshall, you can hear me, send me the invite or sign back up, and then I'll get you right in. And again, thank you guys for going out and coming back in. Appreciate your diligence in helping that out. But it's what we got to deal with. It's all right though. It's all good. All right, still just waiting for Marshall to New Orleans. New Orleans pal is in the house. Miramar, North Miami Beach, Henrico. Okay, so Marshall should be there. Let me look to get him on. Marshall, you there?
I'm here, man. What's going on?
All right, cool. All right, so we're gonna try and do some of this because I know you got a little limited time now and what have you. But real quick, before we get real going, how's your golf game, man?
Suffering a little bit right now, but I'm not gonna complain.
Nope.
I don't get to play. I'm not getting to play as much with this with Corona. I don't get to hit balls as
Yeah.
much. Things a little different, but hey, man, it's a different time right now. We all gotta midstream adjust, pivot,
Yep.
and live life a little different right now.
That's exactly right. So with that, it's a good segue. Talk to us just a little bit, man, about these times that we're in right now. How you and the fam and all, how you guys getting by with all of this? How you doing?
Well, we're doing great, man. I'm making sure that we're not just getting by.
Right.
We're trying to excel in this time. We're trying to make sure that we're being productive, using the time wisely, because you just don't get time. I mean, I know I've really taken a deep dive. I'm like, man, I've been on the go. You get caught up in the hustle and bustle of life, and you realize you don't really realize how much you're just going and you're doing. And so this has been a relief for me. I'm serious, and I'm gonna look to do a little bit more of this.
Good. No, that's great, man. And so with that, let's go back just a little bit, right? So tell us, for those that may not know, I'm not saying that your whole bio, but talk to us just a little bit, man, about about Marshall and where from and all of that.
Yeah, I'm born and raised in New Orleans, Louisiana. Born in the 3rd Ward, raised in the 9th Ward. If anybody out there know anything about New Orleans.
Yeah,
and,
we got New Orleans people on the phone, on the line.
All right. So that's good. They know what I'm talking about. But but yeah, man. So that's I'm from the city. Spent pretty much grew up, born. The city raised me. Went to George Washington Carver Senior High. Went from there to San Diego State. Spent some time at San Diego State before I got drafted by the Colts. Spent about 5 years at the Colts before I made my way to St. Louis. Spent some time in St. Louis, and then I went from there to did some TV for a while, and then moved on from doing television and started doing working in the financial service industry, to where I educating people on financial literacy and that, and throughout all of this, I've always, growing up in New Orleans, there's you really get to see the impact that drugs have on people and the lack of
Yeah.
finances have on people, and how they go hand in hand.
Right.
And
Right.
I've really been on a crusade to do both. You know, I want to make sure people are financially literate, and I want to make sure people really understand drugs and know the truth about drugs and just how they work,
Right.
what they do to
And
you, because people, it's just cavalier right now. It's like, it's cool. Drugs are cool right now,
yeah.
man. It's cool. It's hip.
Yeah.
And
Well, and with that, Marshall, let me say this. So, because I was gonna ask you that very thing is, how did this drug path come along for you? I mean, was that something that, you know, from your young age, you know, and you've seen and experienced,
oh yeah,
you know, the pitfalls that has had on people, or where did this passion come from, you know, of wanting to be a crusader for drug abuse?
yeah. You know, I wish I could say I was the best athlete that went to my high school, that I ever played ball with, but there's a lot of guys that just got caught up in drugs, man. And
Right.
and that's the thing. Drugs just they get a hold of you, whether you're doing them, selling them, or whatever, and it can rob you, because at the point in time you think it's the best thing for you, whether it's to use them to escape whatever hurt you're feeling or whatever you're trying to escape, or the financial aspects to pay for things and to get stuff done. And so
Right.
knowing that and understanding that, and the message, and listen, there's a lot of adults out here they're gonna make the decision that they want to make. This is just for
Right.
kids. This, I mean, you
Yeah.
know, I want our youth to know,
Yeah.
because they're watching it, and it looks cool. You know, like
Yeah.
you see
Yeah.
people that do drugs and they look cool. You know,
Right. Right.
but it's not, because they don't show you, they don't show you when you know, the crap, when they're in rehab, and when they're doing bad, you know, when they OD, or they don't show you all of that. You know, they just
Right.
show you when they're partying, having fun, and what it looked like.
Right. Right. So help me with this as well, right? So you said you saw it. I grew up in inner city New York, right? So yeah, it was all around and prevalent and all that as well. Talk to the young people, especially the young people that are involved, man, of what was it for you that kept you away from that? How did you decide in your head, is like, I see it, that's a path, that's just not a path that I'm willing to go down? How did you deal with that?
You know what, man? I was fortunate. I had older brothers who had experiences, and I learned from them. And I'm gonna tell you, man, I was lucky that I chose to learn that lesson, because we don't always listen to our older siblings. You know,
Right.
you know, you feel like you need to find out yourself.
Yeah.
But that was one that I just wasn't willing to. I'm not gonna lie, I was afraid. I was scared of drugs. I was afraid of it through and through. And
Yeah.
and you know, I remember getting teased because I wouldn't, you know, I wasn't cool because I wouldn't smoke weed. And you know, at that point in time, I was the outcast, and it was,
Yeah.
it hurt. Think about it.
Mhm.
It hurts when your friends look at you like that. But
Yeah.
I'm glad that I had enough resolve and enough self-identity to not get peer pressured in, because that's what
Right.
happened. I didn't want to fit in.
That's exactly right. So with that, the advice that you would give, you know, and again, we have a host of young people that are on this live session right now, right? So speak to them of what it is that they can do internally, right, when they're confronted with, like you said, peer pressure and those types of things, right? So talk to them about how they can back up from that peer pressure, but still feel good about themselves and living life for themselves and not for the crowd.
Yeah, and here's what I'm gonna say: don't back up from it. Step up to it. Confront the peer pressure, because the person peer pressuring you, It's the person who succumbed to the peer pressure. That's why they peer
Right.
pressuring you. You
Right.
understand what I'm saying? The bully got bullied.
Yep. Yep.
The bully is the one who got bullied. And that's usually the
Right.
case. And that's all you have to do. Because when you back up, guess what they're going to do? They're going to step up. But when you step up and let them know, hey, here's the reality of it. I'm making a choice to not do it. And what's going to happen is that's just going to be respect. That's going to be respect. The cats that I grew up with, once they realized that I wasn't going down that road, they used to tell me, hey, man, you might want to get it from around here because his was about to go down. Peace out. I'm good.
Yeah.
You know, that was the respect that they then gave me. And then once they realized, oh, okay, this cat's a baller in high school, then they started to look out for me because they respected me.
Exactly.
You know what I'm saying? It comes full circle then.
That's exactly right.
So that's
sounds very familiar.
And let me say this. Because because a lot of people think, and we're sending these messages to kids. And here's what needs to be, here's what I want to go out. There's parents who never had any experiences with drugs, and their kids are having experiences with drugs and they're lost. You got to get some kind of education. You need to take some class. You got to educate yourself on what your kids are going through, because there's stuff sitting in front of your face that you don't know about. It's drugs. It's paraphernalia. But you're not hip to the game. So educate yourself so you can help your kids.
And that's so real. I mean, that's so real, and that's the thing is, basically you're saying you can't stick your head in the sand, and you know what you see. I mean, as a parent, you see when things may be looking a little different, or she or he may be starting to act a little different and all. And then you come from the standpoint of, well, not my baby. My baby would never do anything, and you kind of start with, is like, well, nah, that can't be mine. But I love what you said about take that time and flip it and educate yourself, to what really may be going on. And even some of the music, listen to some of the music. Yeah, you may not be into the rap game or whatever game is being played musically, but you need to understand some of the conversations, because within the conversation, you can hear and understand some of the codes that they may be using when they out doing some of their dirt.
Hey, man, it's all about education now. If you want to be a parent, you can't just educate yourself on the things you want to make your kids' life better. You better educate yourself on the things that the street's going to present to your kids to make your kids' life worse. And that's just how it goes, man. You're not raising your kid inside the house alone, because the street's going to teach them things that you don't know nothing about. And if you don't know about it, you can't help them. You're going to be lost and dumbfounded, wondering what you did wrong. What did I do wrong?
Right. Well, look, so being a young person, right? And again, and I want to keep reemphasizing that we have a bunch of young kids on the phone, on this live session as well, right? So speak to, like there's an 11 or 12-year-old, right, who's just starting to feel himself, if you hear me a little bit, right? He's just starting to feel himself, he's getting out the house a little bit. He's starting to see some things. Talk to that young person in regards to being able to not give in to what the presentation from others might be towards that person, towards that young fella or young lady.
So we have to be, we literally have to be, we have to be real to what they're watching and what they're seeing. All right. And these kind of things hurt. And these are the tough conversations. When you have a weak role model at home, then you're going to follow something that you see outside. You're going to want to be something other than what you see at home. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're not getting, if you have an identity crisis at home and you're not identifying with what's at home, and it's weak, and it's not providing you the resources you need to become what you want to become, then you're going to follow something outside your household. And that's what happens. You know, you're going to look to, I mean, dude, I mean, listen, I grew up with gangster rap. I mean, we grew up with songs telling us, F the police. We weren't going, I mean, Ice-T was putting cop kill out. We weren't going to kill cops. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
Because we knew better. But but today's young people, man, they taking this stuff literal. And it's because this whole thing of having your liberties, you know, it's being misunderstood. It's being misunderstood. And oh man, I'm just telling you, man, it's this whole and I'm not knocking anybody who love marijuana. It is what it is, but you know, it's the entry. You know, it's like it's how you build up your courage.
Exactly. Or the false courage.
Yeah.
You know, the false courage, you know. So with that, and again, I do want to give a shout out to Drug Free World for aiding and having you on with us this evening as well. So I definitely want to shout them out. And with that, I'm hearing that you are actually spokesperson for Drug Free World.
Yeah. I go around, man, and we go to big events, and we literally we pass out stuff. We go to schools. We provide educational kits. We have at drugfreeworld.org. We have curriculum and courses for parents and kids to educate themselves. You know, we just want to help, man. We just doing our part. Yeah. We're doing our part, and that's providing
we appreciate it.
Resources.
Yeah, no, we appreciate it, man, and it's needed. So with that, let me try to, because I know you've got to run in here in just a little bit. So let me, we talk about, we as adults a lot of times there's a few things that we throw at people, about. One of them is, you need to be a leader. You should be a leader. And I cringe sometimes when I hear people saying that to young people, because we're taking it for granted that they know what a leader is. So define how you came about, and that's something that Frank and I actually, Garcia and I spoke about you earlier, how you was one of the leaders when you was both in St. Louis with the Rams, right? So talk to me a little bit, and talk to our young people about how you came to define leadership and what that meant to you.
So let's be clear on this, okay? No leader was born a leader. There's no such thing.
Exactly.
All leaders are bred, raised, taught. You get it from somewhere, someone, you learn it. There's no such thing as he's a born leader. No.
Yeah.
That's a lie.
Yeah.
All right? Now,
that's right.
If you've never been around great leadership, good leaders, the type of people that don't just ask people to do things, but they show people how to do things, then if you get put in a leadership position, it's trial by error.
Right.
You really don't know. You really don't know, because here's what I know. I know distance travel. I know where I was when I wasn't a leader, and I know where I was when I became a leader. So I remember. So what that tells me is, every young person, it doesn't matter if you're young or old. If you need to be led, you can be led.
That's right.
I know how to get them where they need to go, because that was me. Through experience, that's the teacher. There's no other way. You can't pick up a book and learn how to lead.
Right. Right.
That's just learning how to read. And now
right.
now you're telling them what you read.
Right. Right.
You know,
Exactly right.
Actual leadership is, hey, I was the knucklehead who was self-centered, and I had to learn how to give more of myself to get more from my team.
Right. 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 But it's also within the preparation, right? You know, there's a lot of people that are like, yeah, I'm a leader, and I'm going to take athletics in question here, right? You know, you can be late to practice, you can half go at it in practice and all that, but then wondering why nobody's listening to you, right? And nobody's buying what you're selling, you know, versus you're on time. You're working hard. You're busting your butt. You know, you're sweating after practice instead of no sweat whatsoever on your forehead. People tend to want to be a leader and think that they are a leader because they like what a leader supposedly gets, but they're not willing to do the work. And that's what I think sometimes we're seeing with our young people, is that they want these things, but sometimes they're not willing to put the work in for it.
Well, they want to position. They don't want what goes along with the position. You know, it's like
Right.
with leadership come responsibility.
Right.
And
Right.
and not some of the times, all the times, they don't want the responsibility. And here's the thing,
Right.
you know, you mentioned some things about, and those are the obvious ones, when you're late and stuff like that. You know, sometimes there's disguises, and I'm gonna share it with you because I used to have one.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if you watch me work, I worked my butt off when I was young. I was there, I was on time, but everything I did for me. I did everything that was best for me. I got me ready. I made sure I was good for the game. But that's not leadership.
Right.
And that's not teamwork.
Right.
You know what I'm saying?
I hear you. I hear you.
But when to become a leader, it has to be more than just about, am I ready? Right. I have to now share my knowledge and my wisdom to make sure everybody's ready. Right. I have to not only hold myself accountable, but I have to make sure I hold them accountable. Mm-hmm. And that's, you know, it's like, it's not just the things you see, because a guy could work his butt off. I mean, he could be killing it out there. Right. But then, if it's basketball, if he ain't communicating, you know, telling you pick, right. You're not a leader. That's right. That's right. Well, look, I'm gonna tell you something that Steve Smith and I, a few years ago, we went and spoke at a local high school here in Charlotte, right? And we was speaking to a number of the members of the high school football team, right? And we walk in and everybody's like, "Oh, Steve, I'm gonna get your job. I want your job, and you know, I'm gonna take you out and all of this." So Steve says, "Oh, okay. You want my job? Okay, you can get it." He says, "Jeff, do me a favor real quick. Run to my car real quick and get the black bag out of the back seat." So I get the bag, bring it back in. He brings in three ring, real thick binder books. His offensive offensive coordinators, right? All of his script and rules and all of this stuff. He says, "Okay, y'all want to be me, huh?" He says, "All y'all in here talking about you want to be me. I'm all pro. I'm all of this, and y'all want that. Okay, it starts right here with these books." He says, "Here's my plays. Here's my playbook." He says, "But here's the tight end playbook. Here's the offensive playbook. Here's all of these position plays." He says, "Man, I can't just keep putting in my computer
in my mainframe just what's about me. I got to know what these other guys are doing also. So you want to be me, you got to be willing to learn all of this. And I hear a lot of y'all aren't even coming into school. So how can you be me when you're not willing to read and put the work in?
That's it. That's
but
it,
you
man.
want to be me, right? You know, and his thought in that was, you see what I do on Sundays. You don't see what I'm doing Monday through Saturday to be able to earn the right to play on Sunday, you know?
I always tell kids when they say they want to be me, I say, you want to be me here. You don't want to be me when I was you. Because me when I was you was putting in work.
That's right.
You know, everybody want to be the finished product. Right.
Well, they want to be the finished product, but more so a lot of times they want the material things that they see that come along with that, you know, and not understanding the work. And but
I get it.
And that's why these young people that's on the phone. So if you would, you know, talk a little bit about that, Marshall, about, you know, putting in the work and what that means and success, right? Because you haven't just been successful, and guys, Marshall talked about it a little bit earlier. Very successful on the football field. Heck, he still has 16. He still currently holds 16 various NFL records that he still holds right now. I don't know if you know that or not, but you hold 16 right now. But you also have been successful in the financial services, financial management realm as well, right? So if you would talk to our young people about success and where that drive comes from, and give them some of the ABCs of working towards accomplishment and of success, if you don't mind.
Well, first of all, let me tell them. Let me apologize to our young people. We've done you a disservice. Okay, here's what we've done to you. We gave you the internet. We gave you cell phones. We gave you microwaves. I mean, we've given you Uber. We've given you so much.
Right.
I mean, if you had to walk down the street to go to a payphone and make a phone call, would you go? Just think about it. Just think about it. Just think about it. If you had to go next door to knock on the door to talk to your friend, would you? If you couldn't just send them a text?
Right.
Like if you had to put the food in the oven to warm it up, would you? Because that's what we're talking about. We're talking about real stuff here. We're talking about the work that goes into becoming who you want to become. It's not microwavable.
That's right.
You can't just put it on a minute and 20 and get it. You know, it's like a turkey. Like you got to put it in the oven. You got to baste that thing. You got you know, you got to get Thanksgiving dinner ready like a week in advance. You got to really put some time into this. And that's that's the mentality that you got to have, because it's not their fault. You know, they're in the right now, right here world. Anything that they want, they get it. I mean, I remember I used to have to wait to watch a show once a week. They get it on demand on their phone when they want it, anytime. They don't have to wait. And so it's really it's hard to create a mindset in an area when in every other area, you get what you want when you want.
Right.
And then
it's called entitlement.
Let's be, but I mean, we can use that word, but let's be honest. We as parents, we create it.
Right.
Because I'm gonna tell you, me as a parent, because I had nothing, I wanted to make sure my kids had everything. Why not? That's why I worked hard for it.
Sure.
So there's just the ebb and flow to what's right and wrong, and we have to correct it, because it's not going to self-correct.
Right.
So the rhyme or reason for it, there isn't one. The thing is, hug them, love them, treat them good, and it's just going to take them more time than it took us. And that's what I'm understanding. I left the house at 18. I never went back. You might get a kid living at home till he's 30 today. you know what I'm saying? Trying to meet his girlfriend and his kid in.
Yeah.
It's a whole different world.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But the thing that I'm hopeful in all that, because I do agree with you, Marshall, and then, you know, to your point, you know, where I grew up, right, in inner city New York, right. So if there was places like if we wanted to play stickball, right, there was a lot of times we actually literally had to go clean and clear out the lot to be able to play stickball. And to your point, how many of these kids would sacrifice and go out and clean out?
They ain't doing that.
No.
They ain't doing that. They ain't doing that.
You know, and that's what's unfortunate is the work ethic behind that and the want to, in lieu of, you know what, I want this, but I'm not willing to do what it takes to achieve this. I'm good. I'll just stay in the house and do this, you know.
That's it.
And we have to do some things to be able to aid them and walk them through that process in hopes that they are not still at home at 45.
Hey man, you know, I believe we're gonna do our part. And the only thing that we can help is that they do their part and they figure it out.
Yeah.
You know, because if you don't figure it out, life will figure you out. And it's
quick and in a hurry.
When life figures you out, boy, it's ugly.
Yes, it is.
Ugly. It smacks you around, throws you down, beats you up.
Yeah, and then we start the blame game thing, you know, and that's not pretty. So what I want to do, Marshall, is I'm going to start taking just a few questions. I know you got to get ready to run,
okay,
but I'm going to take a few real quick. I'm going to take a few quick questions. So guys, if y'all want to start sending in a few questions, then I'm gonna put them. I have somebody says, "Hey Marshall, I have a question. My friend smokes marijuana. What can I do to help him to stop or at least start fighting the urge?"
Nothing. You can't do nothing. You need to make sure you put some distance, because whatever his reason is for doing it is his reason. People who do drugs, they do drugs because they want to.
Right. Let me see. Okay. I'm sorry, I'm trying to read.
I should leave that out. Or because they have to.
Okay, guys. Okay, guys, if y'all want questions, this is the time to, okay, Marshall, how do you find the transition from football to business has been for you?
It's been football to business. It's been good. It's been good. I've, you know, I work with a company called World Financial Group, and a lot of the principles that are used in sports are also used at World Financial Group.
Okay.
They allow me to be successful. I get to build a team. I get to work with people that I want to work with. I get to inspire and motivate them. We get to go out and we crusade, and we help families financially to create a better life for themselves and their families.
Awesome. So what are some ways to overcome procrastination?
You know, it's just the best way to overcome procrastination is just don't procrastinate. If you put it in, if the thought hits your mind, then you should be doing it. Literally. If you wait, you're procrastinating. Like, I mean, if you wait 1 second.
Mm-hmm. You find. What is your fondest football moment?
Fondest football moment. Getting drafted. Yeah, that's a dream. You know, you dream accomplished.
The person that asked that question let me ask you this, Marsha, and this is let me preface this by saying part of this is a joke, okay? But did you ever beat the Philadelphia Eagles like real bad?
Oh yeah, several times.
Okay, good. Thank you, because the guy that asked that question is a huge Philadelphia Eagles fan. So good. I'm so glad that you did. Let me see. What do you think of the Rams' new logo?
Yeah, I think it's. I think they did a really good job because they have a lot of people talking about it. So you gotta understand. You gotta understand good marketing. Good marketing isn't putting something out that people like. Good marketing is put something out that get people talking about it, and that's what they did. They've created something, you know, that's causing people to talk. Think about it.
So I'm trying to read this gentleman's question, and I'm gonna give it a shot. How do we leverage athletes to affect real and lasting change?
I don't understand that one.
Yeah, I'm. How do we leverage athletes to affect real and? Yeah, I don't know. Next, I can't. I don't know why someone wants to know this, but somebody wants to know why you didn't go to the U, because they wasn't good. No,
Nah, they were very good then.
No, I know. I was just the person that did it. They're from Miami, so
it's all good. Actually,
yeah.
Coach Erickson told me I wasn't good enough.
Really?
Yep.
Wow. Now I looked you up. You had a stellar high school career. Wow, that's interesting. Interesting. Okay, somebody wants to know: can you play basketball?
I can.
You can or you can't?
I do. I can.
Oh, okay.
Yep.
What position do you play?
I mean, I shoot.
Okay.
I played guard in high school.
Okay. Oh, somebody said, was it that you didn't go to the U because they wanted you to play corner?
No. Miami actually, they didn't ask me to play corner. They had a junior college transfer coming in named Nat'l Bennett, and they told me I wasn't good enough.
Okay. All right. Well, there's some other questions that's coming and I can't make them out, so I'm gonna not guess on them. And who's the greatest and toughest player you ever played against, competed against?
Greatest? I don't know about greatest. I mean, I played against some probably toughest to defend was probably Warren Sapp.
Okay. Wow. Warren Sapp. That's okay. How about Ed Reed?
Oh, but Ed played on the back end. You know, I didn't have to deal with Ed.
Right.
You know, I'm talking about Warren Sapp, disruptive, run game, passing game.
Says in today's game with the different rules now, do you think you would put up similar numbers, or would they be more or less?
Come on now. You know the question. You know the answer to that question.
Yeah. Yeah. Um, uh, yeah. Okay. I think because some of the questions are starting to go left now. So, but I'm getting several people agree with you that Warren Sapp, and
Oh
then
yeah.
also they're bringing up Derek Brooks also.
Nah, Brooks was nice too, man. But they played together. Sapp was
Yeah.
front line. Brooks was a
Right.
linebacker.
And I'm not going to ask that one. Okay. Uh, somebody wants to know, in New Orleans, I guess, were you ever a PAL kid? I think I know that answer. Were you ever in the Police Athletic League in New Orleans?
No, I wasn't.
Yeah. Yeah. I knew that, but I didn't want to answer it for you. And the last one is, how was going against Ray Lewis?
It was intense. You had to bring your A game. You know, Ray was you know, as tough and as fierce as Ray was, you know, he was a person that studied immensely. So, you know, you really needed to be on top of your game because Ray was you know, as athletic and as you know, as good of a tackler. I mean, he was very intelligent, like highly intelligent. He could read things before they happen, and he had this sixth sense for anticipating, you know, just what was going on within the game.
Right, right. Well, Marshall, look, man, I can't thank you enough, man, for coming on and spending some time with us. And I know that our young people have truly been inspired by having you on, man, and offering up, you know, all of this information, you know, across the board, from the drug prevention to, you know, financial world to success. And I can't thank you enough, man. I'm trying to remember, you and I actually played golf somewhere together, and I'm trying to remember which golf tournament it was that we actually played in. I don't know. Did you ever play in the Hootie and the Blowfish?
Nah, it probably was Ricky Pro's golf tournament.
That's it. Wow. Thank you, man. Because I was like, what tournament did I play with you in? That's exactly right. I was thinking it was either that one or Torrey Holt's. Have you ever played in Torrey's?
Yeah, I played in Torrey's too. It could have been Torrey's.
Yeah, it might have been. I'm thinking more it might have been in Torrey's up in Raleigh. So, but look, man, again, thank you so much. And people are shouting out in New Orleans saying, man, don't forget about them. Come back
I'll be
home.
down there. When all this clears up, I'm coming down there. I'm gonna do something. Coach Reese, my high school coach, just passed away, so I'm coming down there. Coming down there with Drug Free World. We're coming to do some work, so we'll look out for you guys, man.
Yeah, definitely, man. And again, hopefully we can continue to work out that you'll be able to come to spend some time with us at our national conference. That's going to be in New Orleans as well. But again, man, thanks again. I appreciate it. And like I said, sending love your way as well from Smitty and Frank, man. And thanks for all you do. And thanks for being an inspiration, man. It's greatly appreciated.
Right on, man.
All right. All right, man. You take care. Be blessed.
You too.
All right, now. All right, guys. So with that, we are let me see. My phone's locking up now. Okay. Well, look, guys, we're gonna end this session, and appreciate all of everybody's involvement and engagement. We're gonna do this again next week, and I'll be announcing during the week, man, about who we're gonna have on next week. We're still finalizing a few things for next week's guest. So they'll be on, and then still keeping on your calendar. September 3rd, I'm sorry, April the 30th, will in fact be Steve Smith, formerly of the Carolina Panthers and the Baltimore Ravens, and hopefully a future Hall of Famer in him as well. So again, thank you guys so much for tuning in. Y'all be safe out there, and see you guys next week. Y'all take care.